Hi, welcome to Enter the Bunker, where we launch you into thriving. Each week we talk about a different virtue that can be used as a building brick to build your own personal bunkers. We share personal stories, as well as tips and tricks to help you thrive instead of survive. So sit down, relax, and enter the bunker.
Hello and welcome to Enter the Bunker. This week's building brick is Certitude. My name is Kelly.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we're going to go over the meaning and some quotes and, all the fun stuff that we do. All right, so the meaning is an attitude of faith, confidence, and certainty, trusting that all will be well. I guess you're certain about something, that's the meaning of certitude. Certainty.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
So, no, the attitude of faith and confidence in what you do, right, is basically gives you that certitude.
Right.
Trusting that all will be well.
Right.
So, you could call certitude confidence, like by itself. Like some people would say, oh, they're just confident in what they're doing, right? But with that, you also have a sense of faith, like on top of that. It's a combination. It's a hodgepodge of faith and confidence put together to carry yourself with certitude in everything you do. So it's pretty important, because if you walk into something with doubt, which is the opposite, then what do you end up manifesting when you actually get into that situation?
Negative, bad things.
Yeah. So everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
But if you're able to walk with certitude and to be able to carry forward that in everything you do, then that things are going to work out well, then you're going to project these things into actually turning out well, right?
Right.
So if not completely what you want, but closer,
yeah,
you're net positive rather than net negative, right?
And even if it doesn't turn out the way that you wanted, you're still in that positive mind that it's not going to be so bad if it didn't turn out.
Right.
You're just going to go try again.
Right. And and because you have that certitude, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So we have 4 quotes here. The first quote is, "For men motivated by moral certitude, history teaches no lasting good ever comes." Joseph Heller, American author. Second quote, "The one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable or certain." John F. Kennedy, American president. Third quote, "To believe with certainty, we must begin with doubting." Stanislaw Lassakinzinski. He's a king of Poland. And finally, "Faith is certitude without proofs. It is a hope. It is an instinct. For it precedes all outward instruction." Henry Frederick Emil, a Swiss moral philosopher and poet. Yeah, so I have 2 quotes I think I like here. Do you have a fave?
Yeah, I think that the last one was my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay, why is that?
So faith is certitude without proof.
Yeah.
And it is a hope, it is an instinct, precedes outward instruction. So yeah, you're walking by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
But it's moving with that certainty. It mentions hope and instinct, and that is part of it as well. So it's hard. It's really hard to describe, because we're talking about something that's so subjective that it's like discussing the color blue.
This going into the episode, actually, I was kind of like thinking the same thing. Like,
yeah,
it's a weird one to talk about, because it's like the color blue, like you said. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, you were gonna say something else, maybe?
I was just gonna ask you what your favorite.
I like the one by John F. Kennedy. The one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable or certain. I feel like I'm just an optimistic person, so that is just an optimistic quote. Like, yeah, you just never know, right? Like, nothing's certain ever.
Well, yeah, and this is why we should be. It's funny, because it's talking about the one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable. That nothing is unchangeable or certain. So if that's the case, then you have to walk by faith and confidence to have certitude,
Right.
right? In the face of that. Because you know it's going to change. You know that things are going to, like, the one thing you know is things will change,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So nothing will stay the same. So you have to have this walk of faith and hope all together to be able to go through life. So John F. Kennedy, of course, he was a very positive type of person.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks. Okay, let's get into the opening. Living life with certainty has its benefits. It can allow you to make moves and advance your goals by being certain that you will be able to execute them and achieve what you set out to do. That is the good part of certitude, the trusting that all will end well. Having the faith in your abilities, the confidence to execute your ideas. However, it is important to remain open-minded and adaptable. You cannot allow your certitude to blind you to new things. As JFK said in the quotes, the one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable or certain. A couple other quotes that reflect this are the only constant is change, and the equally accurate, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Notice both talks about change. When you may think of the enemy of certitude, but the ability to open up to change and to adapt those changes, while all having confidence and certitude that everything will work out, is what will truly allow you to thrive. All right. So that was a lot. I just want to go back and read that other quote again. The only constant is change, and the equally accurate. The more things change, the more things stay the same. The only constant is change. That line's getting me. The only constant is because change is always happening. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
All right. I get it now. I was confused for a second. Okay. Yeah, so it does mention here it's important to remain open-minded and adaptable. I feel like if you're open-minded and adaptable, certitude is just going to come no matter what.
Again, this has to do with how you approach it. If you're approaching it with certitude, then
Yeah, because I guess you can be open-minded negatively too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So because we all have this tendency to want to reflect what we think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if our thinking is negative, then being open minded will be listening for things that could feed that negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
True.
So
Yeah.
you can be open minded and be a negative person, and you're just going to take whatever you get and just spit it out as garbage.
Mhm.
So, but then if you have certitude, which is a hope and a faith and confidence, then when you take in whatever that open mindedness is, there may be negative aspects to it,
Yeah.
but you're going to tweak it to what you have inside of you to put it out as certitude, to
Yeah.
have actually faith and hope. And the more things change, the more things stay the same is kind of your attitude towards things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So oftentimes people say, there's what he said, there's what she said, and then there's the truth, right? And at the end of the day, which is actually going to produce good results for you, like for your life, right? Like, are you going to be open-minded and take things in and then just spew them out as garbage and, have that attitude? And honestly, with that attitude, you're making yourself sick physically because we've talked before about how the impact of your beliefs has on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're spewing that all around you. There's negativity all around your world.
Yeah.
And there's nothing actually positive there's nothing good that's going to come from that.
Right.
So are you going to take that, or are you going to have certitude in your life and be able to turn that into something that's actually uplifting, that's actually going to help you grow, and it's going to help you actually have your body be healthy,
Mhm.
right? These are things. Some people like to fence it and say, well, I'm not negative or positive. Like, I'm not going to be wishy-washy, positive about everything.
Right.
And I'm not going to, and I'm not going to be super negative or anything. I just want the truth, right? There's no such thing. Okay. As human beings, we, you can do your best to seek the truth. At the end of the day, though, we interpret everything in a certain way, right?
Right.
So if you have the certitude filter, because everybody has a filter.
Hmm.
Okay. If you have that filter for the way that you're taking things into the world and the way you're approaching things and the way you're going forward,
Yeah.
then that's going to produce positive results. That's the building brick that helps you with everything else, right? If you're going to not have certitude and just be completely hopeless and think, oh, everything's just going to go to hell anyway,
Yeah.
right? Which is another popular opinion.
Yeah.
Then that's exactly what you're going to look for and what you're going to see. And that's exactly what you think is happening. And you're going to respond to that with fear. And you're going to keep doing that, right?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a filter. Everybody has to have one because this is how we interpret the world. Just think about how your brain works, okay? If you think about how
Scary.
it is incredible, okay? Just
Yeah.
like from a scientific perspective, like right now, as I'm looking at you, I'm actually not like my eyes aren't actually seeing everything that that right now I can actually comprehend because my brain has a predictive engine that fills in the blanks that my eyes can't see so that I actually have full vision. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Isn't it like you see upside down and your eyes flip it or something?
Yeah. That's another
Something
part
like-
of it.
yeah.
So there's all these like mental gymnastics that are going on in our head with just the things we see around the world.
Mhm.
The same thing happens with how we interpret information and things that happen, right?
Right.
Because there's not just the like what we can see, but how we interpret it intellectually, right?
Yeah.
And also how we feel about it, right? So with certitude, when you have that kind of lens, then that allows you to be able to actually take whatever's coming and be able to turn it into a net positive in your life, right? Or a net positive for others in your life.
Right.
So this idea of being able to be somehow completely objective to all things and
Yeah.
right? I don't buy it. That's like a cop out to really like fool yourself, honestly, and try.
Right.
And it's kind of like a little trick for people to make them look like they're smart.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a manipulation of like saying like, oh, I'm being objective here, so you better listen to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
sort of thing. But the truth is, like, you're not, you may be trying and maybe you're getting, maybe you're doing your best to show both sides and things like that. But at the end, sometimes when you get into that sort of exercise, you just haven't said anything at all.
Right.
Right. And
Nothing productive.
Yeah. And it's kind of like this big mental masturbation, to be honest. so that's where we're going now.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I see that all the time, and certitude really is the you can think of it as a way to be able to again go forward with faith and hope and confidence
Mhm.
with everything that you do, and being able to take in things and know that changes are going to be happening all the time, but having the certainty to go forward with certitude that things are going to not necessarily stay the same, but
Go forward and
they will be good things will happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So join us next time for part 2. And we'll talk about how you can be more certain in this crazy, uncertain world. We'll see you there.
See you there.
Thank you for listening to Enter the Bunker. Make sure to follow us on Instagram where you can share your story and also look at behind the scenes of how we make our podcast. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube by simply searching Enter the Bunker. Tune in next time as we launch into thriving.